Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Mike DeMarco.
Bill, how do you feel about ice cream?
Anybody who knows me knows I love ice cream.
Well, how would you feel if someone made alcoholic ice cream?
Now you're getting me really excited.
Well, Bill, there's a new business here on Long Island doing just that. It's called Tipsy Scoop, and today we're going to learn about this unique business with our guest, Melissa Tavss, the founder and owner.
Melissa, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you for having me.
Love it, and can't wait to talk about ice cream. Melissa, before we get into that, though, how are you, your family, and your staff doing in light of the pandemic that we've all been going through?
We are good. It definitely has been an interesting, couple of years now, but people seem to want their booze and their ice cream and their Boozy Ice Cream, so...
There you go. That's the perfect combination. So you found it, and I love that name, Tipsy Scoop. That's ideal. Whoever came up with that should get a bonus.
Thank you. I believe it was me.
It was you? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then you know it was you. If not, you're taking the credit for it, and that's okay.
Well, let's start at the beginning of Tipsy Scoop. What's your personal background that led to you to creating a business around alcoholic ice cream?
Ice cream making actually runs in my family from back in the 1800s. Back then, my family brought gelato from Italy to Scotland, which was a very novel idea at the time. And my great-grandfather was actually president of the Ice Cream Alliance in Great Britain, which I learned was a thing because of him. So have a deep history of ice cream making in the family that skipped a few generations, but I was always kind of fascinated with perfecting my homemade ice cream recipe, which if you're a lover of ice cream, I don't know if you've tried to make ice cream in a tabletop Cuisinart home ice cream machine, but it's quite challenging. So my homemade ice cream was coming out very icy on the sides, and I decided to add a tablespoon of alcohol, which a lot of recipes called for, to soften my ice cream so it was kind of, creamier and less icy. And then kind of fell in love with that flavor and thought it was super cool that, unlike baking with alcohol where the alcohol burns off, when you're making ice cream with alcohol, the alcohol content is there in the end product, and, flavor like bourbon really comes through in the end product too.
Melissa, I love it that you said I didn't know that it went back in your family that long, but whenever I go into a business or a restaurant, when they give a little history, on the menu or somewhere in there on the napkin, it'll say the business started with so-and-so back in the day, and you'll see this very old picture or a drawing representative. So that to me is very cool. I think that's a great start. Tell our radio audience, though, what is Tipsy Scoop all about? Give us a radio picture.
Yeah, so Tipsy Scoop, we make liquor-infused ice cream and sorbet. So all of our flavors are up to 5% alcohol by volume. A scoop is around the equivalent of a light beer. And every flavor is either inspired by a cocktail we love, like mango margarita sorbet, or like a food and drink pairing, like dark chocolate whiskey salted caramel, which is really inspired by the pairing of like a dram of whiskey with a square of dark chocolate that oozes caramel. So a lot of different flavors going on. We have now 3 ice cream barlers that we call them, bar parlors.
Very cute.
Our first one, opened in Manhattan in like 2017. I opened Brooklyn in 2019, and then this first one in Long Island in Long Beach this May. So lots of fun flavors and sundaes and ice cream flights at the stores. And we do lots of catering and events, and also sell our ice cream wholesale. So you can find it at the grocery store too.
And Long Beach sounds like a great place in the summer to open up Tipsy Scoop. That sounds like an ideal location.
It is a lot of fun. People definitely need Boozy Ice Cream by the beach. And we were just going to keep that location open seasonally, but we actually decided to stay open year round and have been selling lots of pints of Boozy Ice Cream and just celebrated Irish Day in Long Beach too, which was a lot of fun, and did some fun Irish whiskey flavors as well.
Now, we should tell people, because I've heard of this a little bit. Most people, when you say Irish Day, they're going to say, wait, it's not St. Patrick's Day, but that's not when they celebrate, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, it's specific to Long Beach. I guess an Irish Heritage Day in addition to St. Patrick's Day. They had a fun parade, and I think everybody from all over Long Island, it seems like, came in to have a reason to, party and celebrate for the day.
That's typical Irish. You don't need to have a special day, just a reason to party. It's Thursday, it's
Sunday.
Any
Saturday, right?
Any Saturday will do. It's a date with a number in it. That's all you need. You're ready for a party. So, Mike, we got you all set up now.
Oh, well, I know you started going over a few of the flavors and some of the infusions that you have going with different types of liquors, but what are the most popular? Like, what do people walk in the store and say, wow, this is the stuff here?
Yeah, so it's funny because opening in Long Beach, which isn't that far from Manhattan or Brooklyn, the flavor choices and the popularity of flavors really changes a lot. I think in Long Beach, the most popular has been a spiked hazelnut coffee ice cream, which is infused with cold brew and Cafe Patron, which is like a coffee tequila liqueur, and hazelnut liqueur. I would say in like Manhattan and Brooklyn, probably more like vanilla bean bourbon ice cream is really popular. My favorite is our raspberry limoncello sorbet, which is infused with like a lemon liqueur. People, it always surprises you what people gravitate towards, especially as you go into different markets.
Makes common sense, I guess, when you think of it. But then somehow you think in a locale that's maybe 15, 20 miles apart, the flavors would be pretty much the same. It's not like you're dealing with here in Jersey and Florida and California. And yet you say they're different, whether it's here or in Brooklyn, et cetera. Is that right?
Definitely. I have noticed that everybody in Long Island does love their coffee. So I'm not surprised by the spiked hazelnut coffee choice, but I know when we first opened in Long Beach, we kept running out of that flavor and people were not happy.
Well, that's good. If they're not happy, that means they love it and they're coming back for it. So now, have you ever invented a flavor that just didn't work? It sounded like a good idea. Everybody, I love this. And nope, it didn't go.
Yeah. I mean, I always say that our customers aren't necessarily like the same customers that go into a fancy cocktail bar looking for the most elaborate cocktail. I think the Boozy Ice Cream is like a nice introduction to people who might drink, but they might not be as familiar with kind of classic cocktails or these elaborate kind of things that people have going on. So when we first opened in Manhattan, we tried to do I think it was either a Negroni flavor or an Aperol Spritz. It might have been Negroni. People hardly could pronounce it and had no idea what we were talking about. And it just didn't translate as well into ice cream. So we have a lot of success with, more standard cocktails like a mango margarita or even a salty lime margarita we did this summer. It was a lot of fun. But if we try to complicate it, sometimes it doesn't work too well.
I guess it's a try it and see, and sometimes you're surprised, and sometimes you can figure it out in the back room, I guess.
Yeah, we did have a flavor this summer in collaboration with Dogfish Head. They had a Oat Milk IPA, so we made an ice cream that was actually dairy-free, which was great for all of our lactose intolerant customers. That was an oat milk base with an IPA, and it actually came out really well. But it was, again, one of those things where we had to be like, no, you have to try it. It's really good.
So you cut out the lactose and you kept the alcohol. It's easy on the stomach. Well, before we continue, I just want to say you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Mike DeMarco, along with Bill Horan, and today we are learning all about a new business here on Long Island specializing in alcohol-infused ice cream called Tipsy Scoop, with our guest, Melissa Tavss, their founder and owner. So, Melissa, so I know you said that most of the ice creams that range about 5% alcohol per scoop.
Yes.
Now, are there any, I know even though you have a level there, are there any that you think maybe, or some flavors that you think might be stronger than the others, or just have a little bit of an extra kick or anything like that? Or do you use different liquors like wine and rum, or what exactly do you use in there?
Yeah, so we use different liquors pretty much in a variety of flavors. So the amount of alcohol that we have to add to the ice cream or sorbet varies to get the end product always at that up to 5% ABV, which is legally what we have to stick with, and also kind of what we have to stick with to keep the ice cream at a creamy consistency. So that being said, some flavors definitely taste stronger than others. So when somebody visits one of our barlers, kind of the way that we have trained our staff to introduce flavors to them is really guiding them through that experience of, what they might like based on what their cocktail or drink preferences are. If they're looking for something super strong, they're going to want to, go with one of the whiskey infused or tequila infused flavors. Whereas something like cake batter vodka that's made with a cake flavored vodka, or raspberry limoncello made with a lemon liqueur, is going to taste less boozy, even though the alcohol content is the same, no matter what flavor you're going with.
Have you ever made, by accident, a total concoction that was just totally over the top that you just can't even bring in the store? You took one bite and you're like, oh my God, this is rocket fuel.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the beginning when we were just messing around, some of the flavors definitely probably were boozier than they should have been. But yeah, I mean, not exactly. I would say the tequila flavor and smell can be very strong at times, especially if that's all you're eating that day is taste testing different ice creams. That definitely hits you.
Melissa, we think of ice cream stores as either a cup or a cone, but are there other products that may be more popular in your restaurant and ice cream parlor, being that it's called Tipsy's and has a little alcohol in it?
Yeah, for sure. So our most popular item, and probably my favorite item, is our Boozy Ice Cream Flight. So it's a great way for people to sample multiple flavors, because a lot of people still haven't had boozy ice cream before. So that comes served in a little flight paddle, as you'd get in a distillery or a brewery, and has, 4 little shots of ice cream that, the sides of the glass have chocolate and sprinkles, and you can choose 4 different flavors to kind of sample. So that is probably the best-selling item on the menu, and also the most Instagrammable, which is very important. Sometimes we joke that people might not eat their ice cream, but just take pictures of it, and then it might melt before they get to it.
I have to tell you, that idea I really like, because when I go in a restaurant, I like those places with, what do they call them, mini desserts, or when you get to try, and I was going to ask you, do a lot of people come in, what is it, Baskin-Robbins, 28 flavors, can I try that one, can I try that one? And being the alcohol, they could get drunk by the time they're at the 10th flavor, I guess, if they get enough of it. So it's kind of it seems like a fun idea to get the flight of the 4 of them and kind of taste them and find out which one matches your taste, and, as the consumer, which one you really like and want to take home. So good idea.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of big sundaes too. We have one that's served in a jumbo margarita glass with a few different margarita sorbets. So, people either go big or go for kind of the sampler, but both are fun and, and good for pictures.
There you go.
Well, you already make these concoctions sound and look, seem like they look amazing. And I know you brought up a social media presence, but how important is social media to your business? Do you use a hashtag to raise awareness for this?
A hashtag? Yeah, we use a lot of hashtags. Actually, well, we opened our store in Manhattan kind of due to social media. I actually started the business in 2014 and started kind of the reverse of how most people start. I started with wholesale and catering and was doing that out of an incubator kitchen space in East Harlem. And we had a company called Food Insider visit our kitchen in East Harlem at the time, around 2016, and film us making the ice cream, pouring the alcohol into the machine, the ice cream coming out of the machine. And that video went viral on Facebook, got like 10 million views in 3 days or something crazy like that. And people kept showing up at our kitchen incubator space, which looked like a warehouse in East Harlem, looking for, the ice cream shop that they saw online. So that didn't stop. And when that didn't stop, we were kind of forced to open our own brick and mortar location. But originally that wasn't in the plan at all. So we definitely think social media is super important and just a great way for people to find out about your business.
Melissa, what about if younger people come in? Obviously, ice cream is attractive to everybody. I told you I love it. But someone in grade school age or high school age comes in. Is there a problem? You're serving alcoholic ice cream?
So we can only serve our alcohol-infused ice cream or sorbet to people 21 or over. So you do have to get carded to enjoy the ice cream, even if you're just sampling. But we do have around 3 or 4 flavors at each store that are for those 21 or under. So you're not kicked out, but you're just not able to sample the boozy flavors.
So that's fair enough. And we don't have a lot of drunk children running around.
That's good. That's good.
Sounds good.
Well, I also read that all of your employees have to be 21 and over. Does your business require a liquor license?
It does not require a liquor license. So only one of our locations in Brooklyn has a full liquor license, since we do cocktails there as well. But we've been kind of declared by the Federal Alcohol and Tobacco Bureau and New York State as a non-beverage, meaning we don't need a liquor license to sell or distribute, but do need to be responsible for checking IDs of the end consumer.
I think that's safe, and it sounds like it's fair on both ends that they don't have to be bothering you, and also they don't have to be bothered watching over you because you're such a unique business. We hear so much today about supply chain problems because of the pandemic. Have you been hit with that, or is that impinged on your business?
Absolutely, and I am wondering how long all of this will last, but it's pretty crazy, even down to the pint containers that we use, which are plastic and have resin. There is a resin shortage. So, everything is super held up, and kind of knowing that, we tried to prep this year for the holiday season even earlier, but definitely challenging. And we're still kind of, coming out of all of this. I'm sure there's more surprises to come, but hopefully nothing too crazy.
Melissa, I'm just thinking, and I wonder if this, again, not knowing the essence of your business, but we think of most ice cream facilities that they would be busier in the summer and then get quieter in the winter. But because of the nature of your business, is it more level throughout the year because of the alcoholic element?
Yeah, I mean, in Long Beach, it's such a beach town that, weekends are weekends, but during the week definitely seems slower. But yeah, with the booze added, we have a bunch of holiday flavors we come out with every year. I think we have the 6-pack this year as well for gifting. So because the ice cream is so occasion based, and because the holidays tend to be all about drinking and overeating, it's kind of like a perfect fit for that. So we definitely get slower when it's colder, but then kind of pick up speed a lot in December when people are shopping for holiday gifts or hosting people at their house.
That's a unique gift.
And good for celebrating. Yeah.
You know, we think of walking into a party with a 6-pack or a bottle of wine, and we could walk in with a pack from Tipsy's and be the most popular person there saying, who brought this? And introduce your product to a lot of people at parties. So I think you're perfect for holiday fare.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I just want to add that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Mike DeMarco, along with Bill Horan, and today we are learning all about a new business here on Long Island specializing in alcoholic-infused ice cream called Tipsy Scoop with our guest, Melissa Tavss, their founder and owner. Now, Melissa, I know you said you had some supply issues with the pandemic, but how did the pandemic affect the Tipsy Scoop business-wise? Do you feel like it maybe helped or even hurt the business? I know some people were pent up all year. Maybe they needed a little extra kick in their life, and maybe ice cream, your ice cream was the thing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, we're lucky that we don't just have brick and mortar. We have wholesale, we have direct-to-consumer shipping online, we have catering, which turned into virtual parties. So we have these different revenue streams that we kind of lean on to help with any seasonality of the business to begin with. But in March of 2020, I was definitely pretty panicked because given that we also have this wholesale business, we had quite an inventory of ice cream kind of racked up in preparation of the summer, and didn't know what we were going to do with it. So our plan when everything kind of shut down was, let's just try to go through the ice cream that we have and then kind of call it a day or see what we need to do, if we need to shut down, whatever. But those first 2 months of March, April, May last year, our shipping business is usually pretty busy, for the holidays, but that's kind of it. And that really just picked up, and I think it still has increased significantly this year. So we were shipping ice cream all over the country, and continue to see a huge increase in that gifting of kind of ice cream and food, which I think there was just kind of a heightened awareness that you could even do that during the pandemic when everybody was kind of sitting at home, not being able to celebrate with each other. So it worked out that we went through all of our ice cream and went through it very quickly and had to make more. But we were definitely worried about that for sure.
Melissa, I'm going to volunteer on behalf of Mike and myself that if you ever have that problem again, whether it's a power outage or too much inventory, we'll come over and gladly help you get rid of that inventory. And we'll do it right on the premises where we're going to be your best friend and best customer. So I'll give you our basic information after the show. and you can have some fun with that. Yes, we'll give you all that good information. Now, I know you also do catering. I wouldn't think of catering with ice cream. So can you educate us on that point?
Yeah, so I actually started with catering. We have several ice cream push carts that we kind of brought all over the city and all over Long Island for weddings and corporate events. And it's a lot of fun to do, ice cream scoops, sundaes, popsicles out of that cart. Really fun surprise. I've noticed that a lot of people are doing less traditional wedding cakes now and more kind of like a fun sweet snack at the end. So if it's boozy, even better. So lots of catering that way. And then kind of started this virtual catering business last year, which has still been very busy, where we send mostly companies little ice cream packs with recipes for ice cream cocktails and host them on Zoom to teach them how to make 2 ice cream cocktails for a virtual ice cream cocktail party. So we found a way to keep the catering alive and now kind of doing a combination of virtual and in-person events.
I never thought of it like that, but I remember going to a party once and they actually had the old-time ice cream truck there. and they parked it in the yard. And I'm telling Mike as we were talking about this, and you went up and got whatever you wanted, any kind of old pop that you remember from your childhood. And it made it a lot of fun. And also it was a story afterward to say, hey, they had this truck. And of course, I'm telling the story now 10 or 15 years after the event. So to have one of your ice creams with the Tipsy brand on it, I think that's even better and probably a lot more tastier. Mike?
It's a lot of fun. It's
I'm
great
sure.
for any celebration. Yeah.
Now, your website also mentions classes and events. Do you teach people how to make alcohol-infused ice cream, or what are these all about?
We do. We have one of our bigger ice cream machines in our Brooklyn location, and we host people for, I think, around 20 people at a time is probably the most that we can host for ice cream making classes. So they are definitely an experience. You get to taste the booze in the beginning that you put into the ice cream and then taste test the ice cream that you make at the end, which is, of course, boozy. So we have a lot of people coming in after a boozy brunch to, kind of keep their day drinking going with a boozy ice cream making class. So those are a lot of fun.
Melissa, what does the future hold for your business? What are your goals for next year? And are we going to see any other locations on Long Island, if you can give us that information?
Yeah, maybe not more locations in Long Island. Our Long Beach one is keeping us busy, but we're definitely expanding our delivery options and starting to work with ghost kitchens. I don't know if you're familiar with that concept at all. Working with kind of different sort of warehouses and kitchens that will be in different areas along the island in Westchester to be able to expand our delivery zones. So people can kind of get their ice cream at the grocery store, get it shipped, or get it delivered, and the claim is 30 minutes or less. So there's a lot of different expansion plans that way to get the ice cream more readily available to people nationwide. So exciting stuff.
I'm thinking of a mean trick to order some ice cream from you, and if it's not here in 30 minutes or less, do I get it free? Because I'm going to warn you, I would block the door, and so would Mike. We wouldn't let you in until you pass that 30-minute mark, so we get all that free ice cream. So you better watch out for us. We're kind of tricky guys.
Oh, man.
Melissa, we want to thank you for being with us today and let our audience know we've been talking to Melissa Tavss. She's the owner and founder of Tipsy Scoop, based in Long Beach. And where else?
Long Beach, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and nationwide shipping. Actually.
All right.
So.
Get it anywhere. Melissa, we appreciate you taking time to speak with us today and wish you good luck on all your future endeavors. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'd like our audience to know that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Mike DeMarco. We thank you for listening to this week's special edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.